So now we've understood how to create objects, understand properties, their methods, their values, shorthand declarations, how to destructure objects, and also how to check whether properties and values do exist. It does make sense for us to now start working out how to add and update our object properties. Now, we've kind of covered this already by doing something like drink.name equals, and we could do something such as peach. And when we save this out, we see our peach is now being reflected in the console. So this is a way that we can update an existing property, but we haven't looked at adding properties that do not exist. Now, it's actually as easy as doing something like this. We could say the drink.brand equals my drinks company. When we save this out, this automatically gets added to our object. So this is a nice easy way. We're updating here. We're adding a new object inside of here. Now, it's actually nice and easy. We could go ahead and in fact add perhaps a nested object. We could do brand equals an object and then keep spelling out objects and objects and objects. Now, what I want to take a moment to do is show you a nice example function that we can do all of this, but in one line of code. So whether we're adding a property or updating a property, we can do it with a simple function and one line of code. So let's go ahead and we're going to create a function. We're going to call this prop update. Now, whether the property exists or not, we're going to add it or we're going to update a property. So this function will serve two purposes. So first, it's going to take the property that we want to update, and then it's going to take the value. Now, inside of this, we're going to say drink. Now, for now, we're going to leave the property syntax blank, and I'm just going to assign it the value. Now, can you imagine how we, with one particular piece of syntax, can call this function prop update? We're going to say we want a brand, and that's going to be my drinks co. And secondly, we're going to update the drink name to peach, and we can go ahead and change that property over as well. So what we want to do is pass this property in and update that property. Instead of doing it line by line, we can wrap it in a function, and this means that we could in fact test the logic behind this function and make sure that it's updating the right property respectively. Now, in fact, we looked at something earlier where we did something quite interesting. We used something like this. We used a square brackets, and that allowed us to dynamically create a name on the object. So what this will actually do, if we do square bracket prop equals value, if the property does exist, it's going to go and look it up because we're passing name in, obviously. So it's going to do drink square bracket name equals value, and the value is what we're passing in here. Now, if it doesn't exist, it's going to go and reference the value and set the value, because each time it's just overriding those properties regardless. So we could in fact comment these out, hit save, and we'll see the exact same setup on the right hand side. Nothing's changed, but we could verify that this works and change our drink name over to lime. So you can see here that everything is working as intended. So using the syntax for dynamically creating, we can also access those property values. If they do exist, we can add something to it. We can update as well. Now, in the masterclass course, we're going to be talking about object immutability, as this at the moment is an impure function because it accesses this drink outside of its scope. Now, a pure function doesn't access anything outside of its scope, and we'll also be covering this in the masterclass course as well. So in this video, we've looked at drink.brand, drink.name. We add properties which don't exist yet, or we can update existing properties. And with one simple line of code, we can either update or add a property as we've demonstrated below.